All right, so today we are going to be doing a test review over 8.1 to 8.3 to help you with tomorrow's test. Question number 1, determine whether the conclusion is valid or not valid. I want you to show work on this problem. You want to determine how many people like Rice Krispies as their favorite cereal. So you randomly ask 105 students. 15 of them say that Rice Krispies is their favorite, and 90 prefer other cereals. The results claim that 10% of the people like Rice Krispies the best. I want you to tell me whether that's valid or not valid. Okay, in order to do a problem like this, what you want to do is basically we're trying to see, is this truthful or not? The results claim that 10% of the people like Rice Krispies the best. How many people, when they went out and randomly interviewed people, how many people said that they liked Rice Krispies the best? 15. Okay, it says right here, 15 of them say that Rice Krispies is their favorite. So that's 15 out of how many total people did they ask?
105.
105. Guys, what's 15 divided by 105?
0.142574.
Okay, it's a big long number that keeps going on. How do I turn that into a percentage? Move the decimal over by 2 places, and if I were to round that, it's going to be more like 14.28, which is like a 14%, okay? Is that what the statement is saying? What did the results claim? 10%. Is 14% the same thing as 10%? No. So is that valid or not valid? It is not valid because that is not a true statement. The next one, I'm wondering which sample is better for making an estimate. Estimate the number of 7th graders in your school with an iPhone. So on your board, I want you to tell me whether the answer is A or B as far as which one is a better sample for making that estimate. Sample A says a random sample of 25 7th grade students. Sample B, a random sample of 25 students in the hallway at school. What's the answer, guys?
A.
Why is sample A better?
Because it's relevant to 7th grade.
It's focusing on 7th grade students, and up here I only need to know about the 7th graders who have an iPhone. All right, this is one of our vocab words that we had. There's 2 kinds of samples. I want you to write, what is this? A blank sample is not representative of a population. Guys, what are the 2 different kinds of samples? Biased and unbiased. Which one is not representative? A biased sample, okay? You don't want a biased sample. You want one that's unbiased. All right, so we just talked about a biased sample is not a good one, and unbiased is. So you want to estimate the number of students in your school who enjoy running. You survey the first 20 students who arrive to cross-country practice. Let me know if that is biased or unbiased. Okay, most of the people I saw said that that was biased. Raise your hand if you can tell me, why would this be considered a biased sample? Gavin. Okay, here's the deal. They went to survey people at cross-country practice. Do you think cross-country people enjoy running? Yes, that's why they chose that sport, okay? So this was definitely not a random group of people. Instead, they specifically focused on the cross-country practice, which means one or more parts was favored, meaning that's biased or an unfair sample. All right, for the next one, you deposit $100 into a savings account, and over 2 years' time, you make $17 in interest. What is the annual interest rate? Okay, don't erase your boards yet. For this problem, we need to find the I, P, R, and T. What does the I stand for?
Interest.
Interest. What's our interest?
$17.
$17. What's the P stand for? Principal. What is the principal? $100. Okay, that's their starting amount that they put into their savings account. What's the R stand for? Rate. What's my rate? We do not know it. Okay, so a question mark. And how much time did it say it's going to take?
2 years.
2 years. Okay, so now we're going to put in I equals PRT. The interest we know is $17. What was the P? $100. The R? We don't know it. And the T? 2. Is there any work I can do on the left side?
100 times 2.
Nothing on the left side. Can I do anything on the right side? 100 times 2. Okay. What is 100 times 2, guys? 200. Noah, what should I do to get r by itself?
You have to multiply 100 by 2.
What do I need to do to get r by itself? How do I get rid of multiply by 200? Divide by 200 on both sides. When I do that, I get that it's 0.085. A lot of people left the answer as that. What does rate have to come out as? It must be a percent. So I've got to move that over 2 places to the right. So what's the answer?
8.5%.
Okay, so don't forget to put that percent sign there. Question number 6 is asking us to find the mean number of students. What's another word for mean?
Overall amount. Average.
The average. I am looking for the average of this data set. So if I put it in order from least to greatest, I've got 90, 120, 120 again, 150, and 210. What should I do to all those numbers in my data set? Add them up. Guys, when you add that, what do you get? 690. Is that my mean? No, the mean will always come in between the smallest and lowest number in your data set. Okay, so if you get a really big one, then you know something went wrong. What do I have to do to 690? Divide it by 5. Where'd you get the 5? There's 5 numbers that we added up together. Okay, so just remember that is how you find the mean, by adding them up and dividing by how many numbers you added up. So the correct answer is 138 students. For this one, we've got the same data set. It's asking us to find the center and the variation. Here's what I saw a lot of people forgot to do. Don't erase your boards yet. What do I have to do with my data set before I do anything else? Put it in order from least to greatest. Those of you who forgot to do that got your center incorrect. Okay, so the center has to be when they're in order from least to greatest. What would my center be, guys? Okay, 120 students, because it's the number in the middle. Once again, if you forgot to put them in order from least to greatest, you would have said the answer was 150, but that's not the case, okay? The variation, how do I find the variation? Take the largest number in your data set, which is 210, and subtract what number? The smallest number. What's the answer? 120 students is correct. Number 8, this is one of those vocab terms. What is the difference between the highest and the lowest numbers in a data set called? Remember, as you guys are reviewing and studying, go over that section on your green notes about important information. The range is what we would call the difference between the highest and lowest numbers. All right, for the next one, I want you to look at the box and whisker plots for data set A and B, and let me know what the measures of variation are for each of them. All right, remember with variation, you are trying to take whatever the largest number, the upper quartile is, and subtract the lower quartile. So for that one, you would be doing 80 minus 30, which is what, guys? 50, okay? So for A, it would be 50. Going to the next one. You're taking 100 minus 80. What is 100 minus 80? 20. All right, for the next one, you're trying to find the measure of center for the same box and whisker plots. Guys, what's another word for measure of center? The median. So we can see the median for A was 60, and the median for B is 90. All right, for the next one, we've got a modeling real life problem. A store owner wants to know how many of her 315 regular customers prefer white bread or wheat bread. The cashier randomly asks 45 of the regular customers. 15 say they prefer white bread, and 30 say that they prefer white bread. Estimate the number of customers who prefer white bread. As you start to do a problem like this, remember you want to do favorable over total equals n over the population. What is it that they are looking for, or what are we estimating?
How many people have white bread?
Okay, specifically those who prefer white bread. So they went and asked a bunch of people, how many favorable said, I like white bread the best?
15.
Not
I
15.
mean 30.
Look right here. 15 say they prefer wheat bread. I'm not looking for wheat. 30 say they prefer white bread. How many total people did the owner ask? She asked 45. Equals N over how many regular customers? 315. Did anybody put in a missing link? What is it?
7.
Okay, multiply by 7 on the top and the bottom, and what do you get?
10.
210 what?
Customers.
Customers or people. Either one of those would be fine. All right, for the next one is solve the inequality and graph the solution. All right, guys, here we've got a two-step equation. Who's the best friends?
2x.
Keep it together as long as you can. Let's get rid of the -6 by adding 6 to both sides. It seems like a lot of people have forgotten how to do this. 2x is greater than or equal to, same sign or different sign over there? Different sign, subtract and take. What is -10 plus 6? -4. Okay, how do I get x by itself? Divide by 2 on both sides. And the answer is x is greater than or equal to -2. Should I flip the symbol? No, you only do that if the last thing you did on both sides was divide by a negative. Now let's talk about our number line. What goes in the middle? -2. What's one smaller?
Or -3.
-3. What's one bigger?
-1.
Open or close circle?
Close.
Closed. Which way should the arrow go?
Right.
To the right, because all solutions are greater than -2. A blank is a part of a population. What is it, guys? A sample, okay? Please remember that on your test tomorrow, you need to know those terms, okay? So make sure you're studying and reviewing your review notes over 8.1 to 8.3.